Hello everyone, welcome to Technologies Discussion channel. Today, I'd like to continue the discussion on S parameter. For this video, I'm going to discuss how can we actually determine whether the network is reciprocal or lossless. Normally, when we actually buy a DUT, we are actually given the S parameter. So from that particular S parameter, how can we actually determine whether the DUT is reciprocal or lossless? So this is one of the objectives. Next, I'm going to show it to you how can we actually calculate the return loss when the load is terminated with a match load or when it actually terminate with the short circuit. So basically, this will be the objective of this video. Guys, if you're keen to know more about S parameter, please take a look on the playlist under the description. Over there, you will be able to find a series of discussion on S parameter. This is my email. If you have any question regards on this discussion, please drop me an email. Or if not, if you want to have a faster response, you are always welcome to ask me your question through the comment. Before I continue, I'd like to urge you guys to help this channel. Help me, guys. Press the like button now. For those who are new to this channel, please consider to subscribe and turn on your notification bell. Once again, thank you so much for strong support. This is what I discussed earlier on. Normally, when you actually buy a DUT, you are actually given a S parameter as it show it over here. So this example, I'm going to show it to you. How can we actually determine whether the network is reciprocal or lossless? So this will be the first objective. Let's start by discussing on this, and I will mention the question later on. So let's quickly understand how can we actually determine whether the network is reciprocal. A network is reciprocal if it is passive. So basically the first thing that you need to ensure that this device must be passive. They must not be having any active. For example, they have this DC supply to turn on this amplifier, let's say. So you need to ensure that it must be passive and they only contains only reciprocal material that influence the transmission signal. Why this is important? For example, typically antenator, cable, splitter, and combiner, they are all reciprocal network, where Smn equals to Snm. In each case, means that the S parameters matrix is equals to its transpose. What does this mean? For example, when you buy this, let's say this is an antenator. So you need to determine whether there is an input and output if it is not reciprocal. If it's reciprocal, which means that if I input my signal here, I will still have my attenuation signal at the output. And if I inject my input over here, I will still have my so-called attenuation signal, which means that if it's reciprocal, which side is an input, which side is an output, it doesn't matter. However, when it is not reciprocal, then I need to determine, this is an input and this is the output so that your signal will be attenuated away. I guess you know what I mean. If not, so if you inject on the other direction, you may not have the same desired attenuation anymore. So basically for reciprocal, which means that I don't care whether this will be the input or whether this will be the input. So this is the meaning of reciprocal. How can we actually tell from the S parameter whether this is reciprocal, which is mentioned over here, which means that S12 must be equals to S21 for this case here. So from this set of S parameter, you can easily compare S12 and S21. You can see that even the magnitude is the same, but we have the different on the phase, which means that they are actually not the same, which means that the S is not symmetric, and hence the network is not reciprocal, which means that beside magnitude, we also need to ensure that the phase must be exactly the same. Then we can call this reciprocal network. So this is the first thing. You need to see that S21 and S12 must be exactly the same. Then we can determine that whether it is reciprocal or not. Also keep this in mind. You need to ensure that your device is actually passive. Next, we go into lossless. Okay, before we come to lossless, let's quickly understand what is actually a lossless network. Okay, a lossless network is one that does not dissipate any power. Okay, which means that they don't create power, they also won't lose any power. Then therefore we can call this lossless. In a mathematical way, we actually express in this equation here. Okay, so this equation means that the sum of the incident power at all port is equals to the sum of the outgoing power at all port. Okay, which means that whatever go inside, okay, means that whatever go outside, they will be still the same. Okay, as it mentioned over here, since the network is lossless, which means that nothing will be lost. Whatever that you feed into the network, okay, everything will be feed at the output of the network. So this is the definition of this lossless network. Okay, so this implies that the S parameters matrix is unitary, which is one, okay, which can be expressed as this equation here. Okay, so this SH is actually a conjugate transpose of S and therefore is a identical matrix. How can we actually determine whether the network is lossless or not? Basically from this set of equation here. Okay, so how can I tell? For example, okay, I insert my source at port 1. There are actually two outcomes. One will be reflected back, the other one will be reaching the output. Okay, so therefore over here you can see that this S11 relate to the reflected power, this S21 which relate to the power that is actually delivered over to the output. And if we take this so-called wave and we will be able to know whether it will be lossless or not. From here, okay, you can see that this is 0.15, which is from the S11. I just need the magnitude, which is 0.15. Again, this S21, okay, S21 is actually 0.85. You can see from here. Okay, so when I actually compute, this is actually less than 1. Okay, so if it's 1, then it will be declared as lossless. When it's actually less than 1, which means that I actually has loss, which means that about 0.2 something, okay, losses. So therefore, from here, I conclude that the network is actually not lossless. Okay, so this is the second example, how to determine whether the network is lossless or not. Next. Okay, so basically the next question will be when port 2, okay, this will be at the output port, is terminated with a match load. Okay, what will be the return loss seen at port 1? Okay, so this is exactly how we do the S parameter measurement. Okay, we need to put a match load at the output, then we will be able to tell the reflection coefficient, right? So therefore, for this case here, the reflection coefficient will be equal to S11, which is 0.15 for this case here. And in order to obtain the return loss, okay, what we need to do is basically we just need to do minus 20 log, okay, with this reflection coefficient. Then from here, we can compute, okay, them as a 16.5 dB. Okay, so basically this is what happened when we actually terminate the output port with a match load. And from here, you can see that my return loss will be equals to 16.5 dB. Okay, so another task, what happened here is basically, okay, before I continue, guys, I will have another example, but before I continue, urge you to help this channel by like this video. Okay, when more you guys actually help to like this video will have a better chances to reach up to a larger audience. So guys, help me press the like button now. Again, I urge you, if you have learned something and you find this video useful, again, help the channel by subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much. Let's come to the last example here. Okay, so when port 2, now instead of match load, it actually terminate with a short circuit. Okay, so basically I terminate the load with a short circuit. Again, I'm tasked at the same outcome. I need to calculate what will be my return loss as seen at port 1. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so this is not so straightforward. Earlier on, because it's a match load, so it's quite straightforward. But for this case here, okay, at the output of the load is actually a short circuit. So what does this mean? Okay, so you probably know this equation. Okay, so this is actually the DC value here. Okay, so this is actually the incident wave plus the reflected wave. Okay, so I have derived this equation earlier on, okay, on my previous slide. So basically, you can take a look on that here. Since this is a short circuit, okay, this means that this will be equals to 0 because this is so-called a short circuit. So I actually has this equation. And I can rearrange the equation as you can see from here. Okay, so I basically shift this to the left, I will have this equation. Okay, if not, okay, so this is another set of equation, okay, to show the relationship. Okay, so again, this is an equation, okay, the reflection coefficient, okay, if you want, is actually equals to V2 minus over V2 plus. Okay, so basically this is the formula for the reflection coefficient. So under short circuit, okay, so the reflection coefficient will be -1. And again, you can see that I actually has the same outcome, okay, as shown earlier on. Okay, so this will be one set of equation that I will going to use later on. Okay, but keep this in mind on this equation. Next, okay, so this is the set of S parameter. Okay, so again, you can open up the bracket as you see over here. Okay, so I just open up the bracket here. So this is what we have derived earlier on. Okay, so this is what we have derived earlier on. So from here, I just need to replace this V2 plus with minus V2 minus. So from here, this all plus become minus, and this instead of V2 plus become V2 minus, as you can set from this equation here. Okay, let's concentrate on the second equation. Okay, this equation first. Okay, so this equation, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift this guy onto the left. So this V2 minus, okay, so this is minus, so it shift to the left, it become plus. So become S22 V2 minus here. So this will be still intact here. So I take up the common factor, okay, which is V2 minus, and I have this set of equation 1 plus S22. Okay, so this will be the same. And I just want my V2 minus as my subject. I just move this over. So it become S21 V1 plus over 1 plus S22. And again, I can easily bring my V1 over the other side, and I will have this set of equation which I'm going to use later on. Okay, so basically this is one of the equations that I have managed to obtain. Okay, so next, this is the reflection coefficient which I have also explained just now. Okay, so basically this is the reflected wave, this is the incident wave. Okay, so next I will take the first equation here. So this is my first equation. Okay, so as you can see, that exactly the same. So because I need to do this reflection coefficient, okay, if you still remember, if I do a -20 log this thing, I will be finding my return loss. So therefore, I divide by this equation, okay, by V1 plus, as you can see here. This will become the reflection coefficient. Okay, so therefore, I will divide this whole thing by V1 plus here. So this thing divided by another V1 plus, it becomes S11. And this S12 become V2 minus divided by V1 plus. Okay, because everything I divided by V1 plus here. So this one disappeared. This one will be divided by V1 plus. And you can see how I arrive at this equation. As I mentioned, this is actually the reflection coefficient. So I replace them with reflection coefficient. So this is S11. Okay, so this set here, V2 minus over V1 plus, is what I have calculated earlier on. Okay, so therefore, I just need to multiply this S12, S21 here, and 1 plus S22. And from here, you can see that I actually obtained the reflection coefficient. And all these S parameters I already know earlier on. And I just need to punch my calculator. And from here, I can calculate that my reflection coefficient will be equals to minus 0.452. Okay, keep this in mind. This is actually, we call the magnitude. There's no minus number. So I put this 0.452 over here. And again, if I punch my calculator, I will be able to calculate my return loss as 6.9 dB here. So from this example, I have done 4 tasks. First, okay, I have done whether the network is reciprocal. Next, I have determined whether the network is lossless. And then after that, I terminate, okay, at the load, okay, with a match load, what will be my return loss. And last but not least, this example, okay, I actually terminate my load with a short circuit. And again, from here, I actually calculate my return loss. With this, I'd like to end my discussion. Okay, please help to like this video and subscribe to this channel. Once again, thank you so much for strong support. I hope to see you guys soon. Bye for now. Thank you so much.